Hello everyone, it's Lisa Ann from Lisa Ann Tarot. I decided to do a reading about the runner chaser dynamic. That period in the twin flame journey just before separation, when one of the parties, the feminine or the masculine, decides to run. And that turns them into the runner and the other into a chaser. This is one of the first parts of the journey that a lot of people have a hard time with. There's a lot of confusion surrounding it, a lot of pain, a lot of sadness. So I decided to do a reading to try to give you a little more perspective over what's going on. Whether you're the runner or the chaser, it might give you a little more insight as to where the other party is in their headspace and in their heart space. I also have some cards here from Spirit of advice, sort of what they see as the role of each one or the purpose. And then we have some theme cards and then some cards of that Spirit wants you to know what actually comes out of this period. This is the period just before separation, right after the bubble of love, and usually happens one person gets overwhelmed and they decide they can't be in the relationship, they can't be around you, and they run. They block you out, they try to forget you, they try to leave because it's just so overwhelming. So hopefully this reading will kind of help guide some of you who are having a little difficulty trying to figure out why this happens, and really what's going on with the other party while this happens. So let's get started. So the overall theme of this period is barriers. So the reason that you have to go through this upheaval and this part of the journey is to identify the barriers, any barriers that you might have, blockages, things that need to be healed, things that need to be completely torn down and rebuilt in order for the two of you to come back in better alignment. Part of the journey is sort of tearing yourselves down and getting more in alignment with your true soul's purpose, so that the two, and becoming whole, so that the two of you can come together as two complete people in alignment with your soul contract's purpose. So the whole part of this journey is about identifying these blockages, these barriers, these things that need to be healed. So that's the whole theme over this part of the journey. The overall theme for the person that runs is unconditional love. So the runner usually, when they're faced with this relationship or this type of love or this connection, they have a hard time wrapping their head around the feelings that they have of love, how fast it comes on, how intense it is. They have a problem with how much love the other person has for them in such a short amount of time. They don't trust that because they've never had this level of love before. Most likely, if the two of you are coming together, you've had previous relationships that have been traumatic. You've had previous relationships that did not end well. So you have a lot of scars and a lot of hurt and a lot of things that need to be healed. So then crashing into this connection that's just so intense with love sometimes is very difficult for people. So the theme of the runner's lessons that they have to learn brings them toward unconditional love, being able to share love unconditionally and to be able to accept love unconditionally. So that has to do with self-worth. That has to do with opening their heart and trusting and having patience. So that's their overall theme. The overall theme for the chaser is awareness. So their part of the journey, or their theme of the journey, is to become more aware. They might be the one that's awakening now, that's ascending, that they might be more spiritual. And this is part of their journey in stepping into their power and really identifying with who they're meant to be, rather than who they're told to be. So their whole part of the journey is about raising their awareness about the journey. Okay, so let's look at where the runner is in their headspace when they run. What's going through their heads? So in their heads, they have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is about deception. It's about gossip. It's about being disappointed, not fully trusting where they are, what they're feeling. We have the Death card, which is about sort of breaking out of old emotions, old structure. The things that they're feeling and doing don't match with the way they've been living. So that brings about this struggle. This, the Death is about shedding old skin, old ways of thinking, transforming. The Knight of Swords is about fast action. So they want to get away from this because they're uncomfortable as fast as possible. And then the Star card is about transformation. So this connection brings to them a big change and a big transformation in their life, and they're really not comfortable with it. And their instinct is to run away, to get away from it. I don't know how to handle this. It's not what I'm used to. It's something completely different, and I just need to step away from it because it doesn't make sense to me. In their heart space, they're looking at this connection with long-term, for the long term. They look at it as family. They look at it as a strong foundation, contentment, joy, harmony. So they're looking at the connection in their heart from a very good place. They want to bring forth the Knight of Cups, an offer of love. They want to have this connection in their heart. But if you look at this Two of Cups here, this is about an offer of love, but she's looking away from him and she's bound. So he doesn't feel that she's going to accept him because he has low self-worth. He doesn't think she's going to accept that cup of love. He doesn't he feels he doesn't have enough to offer her. He can't, bring her everything she needs at the moment. So, this is also weighing on his heart very heavily, and that's why we have the Seven of Swords, which is about defeat. It's about being defeated. It's about, I'm not going to be able to go through with this. I can't do this, type of energy. So this is where his heart space is. As much as he wants to come forward with this, and he sees it as a long-term connection, and something that's going to bring about family and foundation, he just can't get out of this energy. He feels defeated and feels like he's not enough. So he turns away from it. So that's sort of where he's at in his head and his heart space. So where is the chaser at in their head, or in their heart space? So in their head, they're looking at this connection as a Two of Cups. So this Two of Cups here, if you see, this is like an offer of love. This is coming together of two people. So they do see this as a connection. They do see it as the Fool's energy, new beginning. They want to take a leap of faith. This is where they're at in their head. Let's do this. Let's make the connection. Let's have this relationship. The Queen of Pentacles is about building a foundation, being independent, making moves and doing things in your life, to build a foundation, to build a structure. So she's very much in the mindset of this Ten of Pentacles, and being a willing participant in that. We have the Two of Cups in her headspace, which is in his heart space. So you can see mirroring here. What else? So then we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is about, again, being defeated. It's about crying over spilt milk. So when the runner runs, even though these are the things that she wants, she's very kind of crying over spilt milk. She's upset. I say she, but the chaser. The chaser is upset that they've kind of lost out on this opportunity, and they know they're going to have to go this journey alone. In their heart space, where are they at? So in the heart space, we have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is very heartbroken. It's sort of defeated. She's bound here, kind of self-imposed imprisonment, kind of really in the feels, and very upset. The Ten of Wands is about being in a battle, and having to do hard work and coming out of things alone. The Chariot is about forward motion. She really wants to she knows that this is going to be hard work. She knows that she's got to dig in now and be independent, and pull this sort of together. She has this determination to get stuff done, because she's the High Priestess. Okay, because she's the High Priestess. She has, she's in her power. She's awakening. She's aware. She knows what this connection is about, what this journey is about. So she's willing to dig in and be, and build a foundation and keep things moving forward for the two of them, doing the hard work. So guidance from Spirit for the runner is we have Embrace. So Embrace, the Embrace card, let me see if I can, is about contentment and achieving wholeness. Getting ready to kind of manifesting what you want. Spirit sort of indicates that this is sort of a divine break, so that they can fully define what it is they want out of their relationship, what it is that they want, going forward, making sure that, they have things in their mind that they want to manifest. We have Observe, so that's about surrender and reconsider, having patience, changing your perspective. So they need to relook at this connection and not be afraid of it, but embrace it. So they have to look at it from a different perspective. We have the Lead card. They have to review their role in the relationship. Do they normally take a role in a relationship where they're the controlling one, the one pulling the other person along? Or do they take a more submissive role where they're behind the person, being led? They need to come to a point where they step up into their power to walk alongside the other person and not be one or the other, making sure they're stripping themselves of any codependent tendencies. So I asked for a little clarification. Or no, this was this. Oh, okay, and then we have Blossom. So Blossom, I'll look that one up. The Blossom card is about awakening and transforming, growth. So they're also awakening, they're also growing, and this is part of their process, kind of kicking them into gear. I asked for clarification about what the outcome is. What can they look forward to coming out of this period? And we have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is about planning for the future. It's about dreams coming true, wishes being fulfilled. We have the Queen of Swords, which is about honest communication and, kind of cutting through the bullshit and things being real, communicating and, kind of having a balance, not overcome with emotion and not being lack of emotion, but having that balance of emotion. And then we have the Fool, which is about a leap of faith, a new beginning. So that's what they have coming out of this energy, what they have to look forward to. And then I have cards from Spirit for the Chaser. So what Spirit wants the Chaser to know as far as their journey and their part of the journey is to choose your battles. A lot of times the Chaser will try to hold on too tight. And the stronger you hold on, the longer it takes for you to get to where you're going. That's the one thing. Sometimes your ego gets in the way. All right. Well, if he wants to go and do whatever, he can go do whatever. And you end up trying to pick fights. You end up trying to reel them in, trying to make them feel, games or whatever. And the one thing that Spirit wants you to know is to choose your battles, because different things that you're going to do could prolong this period, could derail this period. And, as long as you don't take your eye off the prize, be aware, stay focused. We got the moving on card. So the moving on card is about moving away from things that no longer serve you. So I wanted a little clarification on that. So what do we need to move along from? So we have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is about making a choice, having a choice to make, kind of weighing things out. You do have free will to walk away from this whole dynamic, to kind of leave it and let go. That's definitely your prerogative. Or you can hang in there, do the work, and keep pulling, manifesting your power and keep pulling this connection forward to get to the point where you come back into union. That is always your choice. You always have that choice. We have the World card. So the World card is about having things at your fingertips, being able to manifest your dreams and things that you want out of life. Again, you have a choice. You have the choice to have the world, or you have a choice to walk away. So, which is the Four of Cups. You're being offered a blessing by this separation. So you can either stay in this down energy and being sad over what you've lost, or you can pick your head up and see what blessing is coming out of this. You're being separated for a reason, and it's all for your greater and higher good of both parties. But you have this Two of Pentacles here, so you have a choice to make. You can move on from things that no longer serve you and continue on the path, or you can, kind of stay stuck if you want. So that's sort of a little clarity. Finding balance. So finding balance is about balancing out your head over your heart. Making sure, as above, so below. Finding that equality, finding that balance. We are always trying to be in balance, balancing your light and your dark, balancing, finding balance is where you find peace. And then we have a dedicated effort. So this journey does take a dedicated effort. You have to be constantly aware of things that you're doing, aware of your thoughts. Are they staying positive? Are you, sending signals out to your runner, that you're there for them, and being that beacon that they're going to look for eventually to come back to. So it does take a dedicated effort to maintain this journey through this section, and then the stages to come from this. But it's all for a purpose. And then I asked the same question: what does the chaser have to look forward to once we get to the end of this cycle? And we have the wheel. So the Wheel of Fortune. Where did we have that one again before? Did we have that one before? So the wheel is about kind of manifesting your dreams, things turning, things kind of working, getting in the groove. We have the Sun, which is about the sun will shine, the light at the end of the tunnel. Things are good as long as you stay positive. And we have the King of Wands, which is the king of action. So good things come to the end. Your dreams come closer to coming true, as long as you stay with it. So these 3 cards here were advice from Spirit for the runner and the chaser about this journey. And it's all about opening up yourselves to unconditional love and being aware, opening up your, this woman here has the light coming down into her crown. It's about ascending. It's about awakening. It's about opening up your mind, changing your perspective, changing the way you normally do things, accepting new things to come, things, accepting what is being offered to you, being in control or relinquishing control, control issues, letting go of control issues, kind of going with the flow, let the universe take control, and dreams coming true. So this is all about wish fulfillment. This is all about taking the two of you apart so that you can become the right people to be brought back together. And if you look at it that way, sort of like, you have to spend some time apart in order to fix the problems, in order to change the bad habits and the different ways of thinking, in order for when the two of you do come together, that it is what you thought it would be. And that's kind of what I have for that. So hopefully this sort of explains part of this. When I did this reading, it is meant to be timeless. I did sort of connect with the collective's energy. So, this is going to resonate with some people now. It could resonate with other people in the future. But hopefully this kind of explains this whole period of, the runner and the chaser. Why it needs to happen. It is necessary. And it is, it's a beautiful thing once you get to the other side of it. When you get to the stage of, this goes into the stage of separation. Separation lasts as long as it takes for the two of you to do your work, to learn your lessons, to heal your wounds. Then once you start to come out of separation and you have that period where you're in consistent communication but you're not together, you'll start to look back, and you'll look back on this part of the journey and be like, wow, we got through that. So it is necessary, and it is for your greater and higher good. So I hope this all makes sense to you and kind of helps some of you to get through it. But thanks for watching.